The 4Cs model in creativity. When we talk about creativity, most people imagine two extremes. On one hand, we celebrate the towering geniuses, the Einsteins, Mozarts, and Picassos, whose ideas and works permanently changed human history. This is what researchers call the big C creativity. Eminent, world-shaping contributions. On the other hand, we also acknowledge the small, everyday acts of creativity. Figuring out how to stretch a recipe with the leftovers in your fridge, or finding a clever way to cheer up a friend. This is the little c creativity. The creativity of daily living. For a long time, psychologists use only these two categories, the big C and the little c. And they were helpful. They gave us a way to talk about both extraordinary genius and ordinary problem solving. But here's the issue. This two-part model leaves out a lot of nuances. Where do we place the 8th grader experimenting with shadow techniques in an art class, who has just discovered something new and something meaningful for herself? Even though the technique is well known in the art world, where do we place the professional jazz musician who makes a living playing and recording music, but will never be remembered as Coltrane or Miles Davis? If we stick to just big C and little c, both of these people get flattened into little c, even though their experiences are quite different. The student is at the beginning of a personal journey. The jazz musician is at a professional level of expertise. That's why James C. Kaufman and Ronald A. Beghetto proposed the 4C model of creativity. They expand the spectrum into 4 categories. The mini C, creativity in the learning process. The little c, everyday creative expression. The pro C, professional level creativity, expertise. And finally, the big C, eminent, historically enduring creativity. Let's unpack these one by one with richer examples. Mini C creativity is learning. Mini C is the creativity that happens when we make personally meaningful new connections. It may not impress anyone else, but it's a breakthrough for the individual. Think of a child learning that the sign for water traced on her palm corresponds for the liquid splashing on her hand, as Helen Keller did with her teacher, Anne Sullivan. That's mini C. Or a 4-year-old who declares she wants to be a mushroom princess, combining two concepts she values into something original. Even adults experience mini C. When you learn a new concept, reinterpret a familiar experience, or reframe an event in your life, you're engaging in mini C. It's not about output, it's about transformation of understanding. Little c creativity, everyday creativity. Little c is when those personal insights become expressions that others can see and value in everyday life. It could be a teacher improvising a new way to explain fractions so her students finally get it. A friend writing you a heartfelt poem for your birthday. A home cook inventing a delicious fusion dish from leftover Italian and Chinese food. The little c reminds us that creativity is not confined to artists and scientists. It's about the ways all of us adapt, solve problems, and bring imagination into our daily worlds. We've looked at the mini c and the little c creativity in learning and everyday life. But the spectrum doesn't stop there. Many people move beyond hobby and casual expression into a level of creativity that requires years of practice, discipline, and expertise. This brings us to the next stage, Pro-C creativity. Pro-C creativity, professional expertise. Pro-C is creativity at the professional level. It represents a long-term commitment, often a decade or more of study, apprenticeship, and practice. Think of the professional chef who spends years mastering culinary techniques and eventually invents their own signature dishes. These may not be a world-famous culinary icon like Gordon Ramsay or Julia Child, but they shape the field in their own way. Or consider a novelist who has published several books, won a regional award, and developed a distinctive voice. They're not necessarily in the same league as Hemingway or Shakespeare, but they've achieved a recognized level of professional creativity. The Pro-C level emphasizes that creativity isn't just genius versus everyday life. There's a middle ground of professional contribution that deserves recognition. Hundreds of scientists, musicians, writers, and designers are here producing important work, even if they never reach global fame. Pro-C also reflects the expertise acquisition model of creativity. Research shows it takes roughly 10 years of intensive preparation to reach world-class levels in many fields, from chess to medicine to music. Pro-C is the stage where creators have mastered their tools and can now expand their domain in meaningful ways. Big C creativity, eminence and legacy. Finally, there is Big C, the rarest and most exalted form of creativity. This is the creativity that changes the course of history and is remembered across generations. Einstein's theory of relativity, Beethoven's late quartets, Virginia Woolf's stream of consciousness writing, Gandhi's philosophy of nonviolent resistance. Big C creativity is judged not just by peers in one's lifetime, but often by posterity. Many Big C creators, like Emily Dickinson, Franz Kafka, or Copernicus, were underappreciated in their lifetimes and only recognized later. Others, like Picasso or Stravinsky, were controversial at first, but eventually came to define entire movements. One way to think of Big C is that it's not just novel and useful, the classic definition of creativity. It's also enduring and transformative. It reshapes domains, cultures, and even human thought itself. Now it's important to clarify this. The 4Cs model is not a strict ladder. Not everyone moves neatly from a mini C to a little c to Pro-C and the Big C. Some people remain happily at little c all their lives. Say, a teacher who writes poetry for personal joy. Others may climb to Pro-C, but never reach Big C. And a rare few, like Einstein, may leap over Pro-C entirely, making profound contributions while still technically outside the professional establishment. The model isn't a prescription, it's a framework. It helps us understand the many forms creativity takes and the paths it can follow. Why does the 4C model matter? Because it clears up confusions that have hampered creativity research. It prevents us from dismissing children's insights as not really creative. Mini C shows us that creativity begins in the personal meaning-making of learners. It prevents us from lumping professionals into the same box as beginners. Pro C distinguishes professional expertise from casual creativity, and it prevents us from romanticizing only the big C geniuses, reminding us that creativity is widely distributed and deeply human. In short, the 4C model reframes creativity as a continuum from personal discovery to world-changing breakthroughs. It shows us that creativity is not a privilege of the few, but a process in which we all participate at different levels and in different ways. That's the 4C model. Mini C, little c, pro C, and the big C. Together, they give us a richer, more nuanced picture of creativity. One that honors both the Mushroom Princess and the Nobel Prize winner, both the jazz student and the Coltrane. Enjoy your C's. Let's strive for the big ones.